might have noticed that Dan has some exciting news. He's going to be taking on a big challenge for comic relief. I'm just doing this to annoy him.
Well, I thought you might vary it up a bit. I was expecting him to climb every mountain.
I'm hoping it gets in your head, and when you're climbing, you'll be able to just keep repeating that. We have got an expert who'll talk to us about it in a minute, Alan. But first of all, let's talk about Kilimanjaro. I think that's what we're going to do. I can tell you. Do you want to tell us who's going with you first of all?
Yeah, see if I can remember everybody.
Come on.
Danny Dyer.
Yeah.
Not Danny Dyer.
Daughter.
Love Island, Danny Dyer. Leanne and Jade from Little Mix.
Yep.
Osi Omeniora, two-time Super Bowl champion, and he's from the NFL show. Alexander Armstrong from Pointless.
Yes.
Ed Balls.
Yes.
Anita Rani, Shirley Ballas. Have I missed anybody else? Is it everybody?
I don't know why
I think that's 9. There's 9 of us in total.
Anyway, so all of you and with them, you're going to climb 5,895 metres. That's 19,340 feet. It is the highest freestanding mountain in the world. Should I carry on?
Yeah, you go for it.
To give you a scale, and I know that Dan loves scale, we've done this especially for you. It is around 4 times the height of Ben Nevis. There's Ben Nevis. 20 Eiffel Towers.
Oh,
come on, let's do the Eiffel Towers.
That's quite tall. There you
Excellent.
go.
Approximately, and this comes to my favourite bits, 3,000 Dans. Yep, where are you?
So that seems quite easy to do 3,000.
And 3,400 of me. Good luck.
I mean, that's it's all about small targets, I think.
I've been trying to help you, haven't I?
Yeah.
Snack by snack for you is going to work, I think. Let's speak to a person who will know all about this. Mountaineer Alan Hinks. Morning. It's lovely to see you.
Yeah.
You've climbed Kilimanjaro quite a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah,
Tell us.
Love those graphics.
They're good, aren't they?
Interesting.
You
Yeah.
can use them next time if you like.
Yeah. Well,
what should I be worried about?
the wild animals. No, I'm only kidding.
Stop it, Alan.
Don't underestimate it. It is dangerous. I don't want to over-egg it. People do die there. Don't underestimate it. It's cold on the last day, but enjoy it. It's not that difficult. Technically, it is a walk, but it is serious. You're going up to very high altitude. Give yourself more time. I mean, I would suggest going out 2 or 3 days earlier if you can.
Not possible, I'm afraid, Alan.
He has to work with me.
Yeah, because there's a mountain opposite called Mount Meru, which is worth doing first, and that's the best way to climb Kilimanjaro. Climb that first, which will take 2 or 3 extra days, and then have a day's rest, and then go to Kili.
Right. He's not going to do that,
It's a great plan, but it's not going to happen. I was reading that only 70% of people actually make it to the top of Kilimanjaro.
Well,
is that altitude?
Yeah, and it's because they don't do this other mountain first. It's because it does hurt. You're going up from sea level nearly to nearly 6,000 metres, and it's very hot at the bottom, so you underestimate what it's going to be like on the last day, where it's very cold. I brought a couple of props in here. Look, a nice thick jacket to wear. You don't want to go up to
That doesn't look thick enough for me.
Well,
but I'm not going.
And of course, someone like me, wear one of these as well. Don't forget your hat, as we say in Yorkshire. So what you're doing really is the equivalent of going from Africa to the North Pole, where instead of doing it horizontally, you're doing it vertically.
Right.
So you've got to be prepared for that. The best advice I'd give you really is to get out there and do some hill walking, some fell walking. So perhaps come with me to Rosebery Topping in Yorkshire or Helvellyn in the Lake District.
I'm trying to make him train.
Get walking.
It's minus 20 at the top as well, isn't it?
Well, not always. It varies. It could be colder, could be warmer, but it is below 0 generally on the top. So, you need to take enough clothes for that. But porters will carry those for you, and then on the last day stick them on, and then you'll be going very slowly. The local word is poly-poly, which means you just walk very, very slowly.
Yep. We've got to. I know Dan's slightly concerned about some of the facilities. Let's have a look at the luxury facilities.
The
He's going to be enjoying. I don't know what we're going to look at, to be honest with you. Here we go.
10 years ago. Oh, yeah. 10 years ago.
You want me to go first, do you? All right, then.
I don't mind going first.
No, I'm definitely going before you.
You girls think it's sport. I think there's going to be a separate toilet for
Oh, bliss.
one, I reckon, so.
The powder room. We've got our own separate loo.
Where's the
Yeah! Proper toilet.
spa that way. And you got some masseuses over there. Yeah, it's beautiful.
No, you're joking.
Can we have a seat, guys?
Dead. Really?
No.
Got the bedside table. The whole things are looking up. There's a little masseuse down the way.
There you
The
go.
GMTV are quite like that.
Can I ask a question?
That is the bog. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
that was Chris Moyles, Fern Cotton, Ben Shepherd, Denise Van Outen,
Gary Barlow.
Gary Barlow. He organised it all. So this is being billed as a return to Killy, but the toilet facilities are, what's the best way of describing it?
Challenging.
Luxury to me. They look luxury. I'm from Yorkshire, you know. You've got toilets like that.
Now, I live in Yorkshire. I know
I'm
there are
only kidding,
toilets
yeah.
in Yorkshire.
Yeah, I mean, it is completely different. You know, you can't have a shower every day, really. You're having exercise every day for several hours. Louise knows about exercise. Obviously, you're having a lot of exercise every day, and then you're crawling into a tent to go to bed, probably sharing the tent with somebody, I would think, as well, rather than on your own, because then you monitor each other in the night because of the mountain sickness.
An issue in itself, that one.
Yeah.
So
I bet you don't normally sleep with head balls, so that's going to be different, isn't it? And that'll psych you a bit, won't it?
I've never slept with head balls before, actually, Alan.
So much I didn't know. Tell me about the altitude, because altitude, there's not a lot you can do about it, and it doesn't depend how fit you are or who you are. Some people will be affected by altitude sickness and others won't.
Well, everybody will be affected by altitude sickness, so it's just a matter of coping with it. You've got to be able to suffer a bit. There is a lot of suffering involved. You know, you'll get headaches and you'll be off your food, but the key is to just go very, very slowly, drink a lot, and I don't mean wine or beer, just tea, and actually there's some fabulous water mainly, but when you're down in the valley, there's some fabulous coffee in Tanzania.
He doesn't even drink coffee.
Oh, well, that dehydrates you anyway. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you just have a cup of the local coffee, it's brilliant.
But I think that if there are, and I know there's going to be difficult times. I know you've painted an interesting picture there, and it is meant to be incredibly physically and mentally draining. But it's the idea of what you're doing it for, isn't it? The whole time you're thinking, I'm raising money for Comic Relief, and hopefully an awful lot of money with these incredibly famous people. And we'll come back, and then I think you'll be able to see the film on the week of Comic Relief, and then on Comic Relief night, you're all right, you need some more water. We'll announce how much money we've managed to raise.
Yeah, just sort of, yes, it is psychological. Well, there is a lot of physical effort, but psychologically as well, just prepare yourself for it. And the way to keep warm is to keep cool, and that's mentally and physically. So strip off when you're hot, and then as soon as you stop, put your jackets on and keep warm. So the way to keep warm is to keep cool, both mentally and physically.
Very good advice.
I think you've made a very good point, because the fact that you will know when every footstep that you are doing is to raise money for Comic Relief will be a very powerful motivator.
That's it. It's what helps people through marathons and all that sort of stuff, isn't it? Yes. Who are you raising money for?
Come out in Yorkshire or the Lake District with me for some training.
Go on, you see, I'm trying to encourage him to train.
Days are busy. I've got things to do.
I've offered you to do, mountain, walk up the steps in the building.
Fear not.
That'll help.
I shall prepare.
Walking with a rucksack is best.
Lovely to have you in this morning.
It's really lovely to see you. Thank you so much.